Hey y'all, what's up? Okay, so y'all all know that I got fired from my old job essentially for being trans. They came up with some reasons. And I put in a, what do they call that? You can file a grievance to have a hearing where somebody else comes in and listens to the case and decides whether or not you were rightfully terminated. And so in my grievance, I mentioned something about discrimination and all the issues that were going on. And I show up to this meeting, and it was a little more formal than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it was a legitimate judge, and there was a lawyer for state school, and then there was me. And I'm kind of wishing I had a lawyer with me, but I didn't need one. So we start the proceedings, and the judge starts talking about how he's going to strike almost everything. Okay, they sent me this letter of possible disciplinary action with all these accusations against me. Well, the judge struck out 95% of them, and anything that maybe could have looked real bad was struck out. Because rather than try and argue or try and have to fight against the discrimination charge, there were witness statements written against me about these issues, and they all referred to me as female and my female name. And so rather than have to fight the discrimination, they just threw them out. They didn't even submit them as evidence. So the judge said, you know, there's no evidence to back this up, no evidence to back this up, no evidence to back this up. And so we're sitting in this meeting, and the unit director is trying to talk a lot smarter than she is. And the judge even told her, you know, ma'am, go ahead and speak simply. You know, you can cut the fluff out of your words, is pretty much what he said. And so there were 3 incidents that we still had to discuss, and he was totally on my... One of them was that I wasn't interacting with the guys while we were in chapel. I'm pretty sure while there's a sermon going on, you're not supposed to be doing this. And he totally agreed with me on that. And then the other 2 involved some alleged neglect. Yeah, right, I love my guys. And so I got out of that because at the time it was the RS, which is the on-home supervisor, claimed that I neglected to change one of the guys who needed his brief changed. Because I was... And the reason I didn't at that moment when she asked me is because I was with another client. Well, I basically shot both of her arguments down. I was like, so, you know, can you tell me... I'm trying to leave names out here so I don't, you know, whatever, I don't want to catch a lawsuit over anything. I was like, so do you remember those days exactly? And she's like, no, not really. And so my brain just clicked. I was like, so you can't tell me for certain that I wasn't helping another client when you asked me to do that. You know, when you asked me to assist that client, can you? And she's like, no, I guess not. And I was like, is it conceivable that I was with another client? She's like, yeah. And I said, and did I not come ask you where that particular client had gone so that I could assist him, at which point you told me you had already assisted him? She was like, yeah. And it was, I mean, they kicked themselves in the face. It was beautiful for me. And it went so badly for them, one of the building coordinators came to me afterwards and said, yeah, you're probably getting your job back. Which I'm going to accept the job back and immediately put in my 2 weeks notice, because if I get my job back, they have to back pay me for the past 3.5, by that time, 4 months that I wasn't working there. That will be a gnarly check. And I'm not trying to count my chickens before they hatch, but it's looking like I'm going to be sitting in a pretty sweet position. Life seems to be turning around pretty good for the most part. It seems to be going back in an upward, smooth, flowing direction. So yeah, that was that. And I guess I'll catch y'all later. Alright, bye.